Hey, Diane DeWald with CreativeCatCrafts.com. Welcome back to the channel. Let's get that out of the way. It's distracting. This is the card we're going to make, and we're going to make this in several different colors. This is a very untraditional, well, I guess blue and white, blue, white, and silver, I guess is kind of a accepted Christmas. It's more along the lines of Hanukkah. Your reds and greens are your traditional United States Christmas colors. But I thought, oh, okay, we're going to do a poinsettia and we're going to do it in blue. So I started doing research as to what different colors of poinsettias out there are blue in different shades. Did you know that there is no actual blue poinsettia? Those that are blue are painted. I had no idea. I know for like hydrangeas, depending on the acidity of the soil, they're either blue or pink or somewhere in between. And I thought that was how they did poinsettias. Oh, no, no. But this is the card, and just look at all that shine. We're going to do it just slightly different. I use the Stardream cardstock to cut out the postage, and then I embedded this stitched rectangle inside, which is from Master Layouts too, and I'll show you this whole process. And I just thought all this background shine took away from the shininess of this poinsettia, and I'm going to show you how I got that. No, we're not using any pastes. It's actually embossing powder and clear embossing ink. So I'm going to show you real quick. Hopefully this is real quick, and this video is probably going to be a little bit longer, but I'm going to show you the process I went through to get to this blue poinsettia. So I thought, okay, let's experiment. So I grabbed my sky blue and I grabbed my blue raspberry, and I thought, okay, let's stamp it out. And I'm like, it was kind of dull. So I grabbed my gold pigment ink, and I don't remember which company's pigment ink it was because we're not going to use it. Not that it was a bad ink, I just didn't like the look. And then I didn't like the look. So I thought, okay, let's grab some rose gold embossing powder and let's throw it on that gold ink and let's emboss it. And that's where I came up with this mess. I'm gonna be honest, this is a mess, just a total mess. So I'm like, okay, nope, that's a hard no. So then I thought, okay, let's grab 110 pound. All of my poinsettias are cut out on Neenah Classic Crest Solar White, 110 pound. So I thought, okay, let's go ahead, pull it out, and then I grabbed my sky blue ink and inked it up and grabbed a, I think the mini blending brush from Gina K, grabbed my blue raspberry again, came up with this, and then I added that sparkly embossing powder, which I might as well just show you. It's wow, it's from Wow, and it's called embossing glitter, and it's the clear sparkle. I'll have everything listed down below that I use, so if you feel like shopping and picking up anything, the links will be down below. I am an affiliate in most of the links that I'll include. It's no extra cost to you. I get a very small commission if you use the link and go shopping, which I very appreciate. It helps me purchase things like this to demonstrate for you. And what was I just going to say? Oh, affiliates. Anytime I use a product, I purchase it with my own money. I do not have vendors or manufacturers give me product to demonstrate and give a review and be paid for it. Everything that I utilize because I enjoy the item. I think it's a quality item, and I enjoy and I respect the companies I purchase them from. Affiliate marketing is how I make a little bit of money to bring content like this to you. So, okay, commercial is over. So this was number 2. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I think it's really splotchy, and that just takes practice. I might see to the right is the hard no. I'm going to put it over to the left because that's a possibility. So then I said, okay, let's go ahead, redo that. Let's do the just straight up raspberry blue ink. Let's forget the dual inking. And then on the inside is, what is that? Soft stone. I have soft stone in the middle. And then I took sheer shimmer by Imagine and I squirted the whole thing, and you kind of get a little bit of a shine. Nowhere near this one. And I thought, okay, I like it. So it's going to go in the like pile. And then this happened. Look at that shine. And the center I did with the metallic gold ink and just let it dry. But I love this. And then this guy is exactly what's here on the front. And it's the Wow embossing, what did I call that? Clear sparkle. It's called embossing glitter. And so we're actually, I'm going to show you how to do this. And then I thought, okay, traditional. Let's look at the traditional. And I thought, okay, let's do the dark cranberry and let's do the same thing. Dark cranberry, and then on the center, this is marigold. I like the dark cranberry. It's pretty. I thought it was not quite traditional red. It's pretty. And then I thought, okay, let's grab the red velvet. Yep, this is red velvet. And this is closer. Again, the center is that marigold. So that's closer. I like that. And then I thought, what about the cherry red? Because I think the cherry red is more your traditional red. And again, the center of that, and actually I embossed the whole thing. So these are also sparkly. And then I'm like, oh, but I want to put those little beads, and I'm not sure the glue's going to stick to that embossed powder. So we're going to make one of these. I like the red for your more traditional. And then I'm like, well, okay, we've got to do the shimmer spray on a cherry red and see. So you can kind of see a little bit of sparkle there, but look at these two. I mean, look at that. Look at that. The one here on my right hand, oh, so much better. So I'm going to say a no on that. And these are definitely a possibility. So let me pause. When you come back, I will have everything ready to go so that we can create these poinsettias. Okay, and I zoomed out a whole lot more. So like I said, I took 110-pound Neenah Classic Crest Solar White, cut 3 of them out because we're going to do 2 cherry red and 1 blue raspberry. So let's go ahead and grab the stamp and carefully peel that off. And yes, the red, it slightly stained until I utilized the cherry red. And then it was, oh my gosh. And I think that, where did that go? I'm just going to make sure there's like no bubbles underneath. There are some. You can't see them, and I'm sorry my head's in the way. This whole stamp curled on me. I unfortunately, silly me, left this. Okay, so we're going to roll it this way and then press it down, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm trying to get rid of the bubbles underneath. And then there. Oh, that's much better. Okay. So we're going to start with the blue. But like I said, this didn't stain until I got the cherry red on it. And I had been cleaning it with Gina K's stamp cleaner, and the cherry red just is a hard stain. So let's go ahead. I'm going to ink this up. Put this over here. And I'm going to get me some space. This does not have to be perfect right here. Oh, but it has to be better than that. I don't have a Chucky tool. I think the next time I order, I'm going to have to order one. But then I have 3 Misties, and some of my doors are warped. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect because that's not what we're going to cut out. So for demonstration purposes, I went ahead and cut this out of Craft so that you can see it a lot better on camera. And I am just snipping off one of those that tends to, and I'm looking for these guys right there. And there. This is, why does this not fit? There we go. Oh, hey, hang on. Oh, wow. Okay. When I rolled this, I really rolled it. So we're going to do this again. When I rolled it, I deformed the stamp. So we're going to let it go back. Easiest thing to do. Okay, we're going to try this again. I'm hoping leaving it on my Misty overnight. I'm hoping I didn't ruin the stamp. I really don't care there. Okay. So it's in the way. Got to trim this down. There we go. Okay, I'm trying. Okay, that's better. Oh, I was starting to worry. I normally don't leave my stamps in my Misty. And last night I did. I don't know why. So I'm just making sure this is like as centered as I can get it. Oop, that's awfully close to the edge. So there. This is Delicate Surface Painter's tape I've got here, this yellow. And I stuck some minty tape down so that it'll hold my die cuts in place. Oops, that was a bit close. Okay, I think we're ready. Like I said, this is going to be a longer video, and for that I do apologize. Feel free to skip ahead, pause it, come back later. Oh, and it would help if I put one of these in. It's slightly off. But it is what it is. Go ahead and get that in there. We're going to ink this a couple of times. And I'm trying to get all the pressure points. One more up here. Because my Misty doors are warped. I used to store my Misties on their side. And that's when all my doors warped. So now I lay them flat. Oh, much better. Much better. Okay, so we're just going to pull this guy out and put this aside. I want that ink to kind of dry a little bit. And I'm just using some water and a microfiber towel. And I want to get all this lovely blue off of here because we're going to come back with the cherry red. Let that dry. And get this guy in. And this is the cherry red. The beautiful staining cherry red. Get that card out of the way. I'm going to end up smudging it. Yeah, a lot more pressing. Okay. Very pretty. So I'm going to do one more off camera and then we're going to ink the center and we're going to come back and do our dazzle. So hang tight. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got this one all set up and we're going to pop in our blue and I'm going to grab, oops, sorry, that was casting a shadow. This is the center and you have a single with 3 and a single with 2 and it's really easy to line up if my hand will allow it. Okay, let's pick that up. Not the whole thing. Put that back and I am using soft stone for the center. And we'll stamp this a couple of times. My fingers were slick from Gina's stamp cleaner. It has a, I'm not going to say oily, but a very slick, viscous feel to it. And we are done with the soft stones. Let me get that out of the way. And marigold for the red. I think that's really pretty. And we'll swap that out. And one more. Oops. There. Okay, we are done with that. So those are done. I am done with this Misty because we're going to use this again for something else. But I'm going to bring back that other Misty. I just want to make sure that this is wiped off as best as possible. Okay, so now for the magic. We're going to do this blue one. We're going to slide this back in. And this is the Versamark. You can use Gina's embossing ink. Just make sure it's that clear ink. And I'm going to ink this up twice. And then once this process is done, I'm going to do the same thing with the other red off camera, because this is a pretty long process. And you can kind of see it's a little shiny from that embossing ink. And I have a few minutes, not a lot of time, but some. And I found that just utilizing a disposable foam foil cookie sheet just really helps out. So I'm just pouring this directly onto this flower. And I'm going to need a towel to wipe my fingers, because there's no place that I won't get this on my fingers. And I'm trying to be very careful not to touch the front. Tap, tap, tap. And I didn't need to use an embossing buddy. And I'm just going to lay this on the silicone piece right here and wipe my fingers down, because this glitter, I mean, I'm finding glitter everywhere. And I will use this one again. But I'm just trying to get this to not blow everywhere. And then I'm going to bring you in really close so you can see this. Because you see how dull this is at the moment? I'm going to go ahead and get my heat tool going. And hopefully you can't hear it. I'm pretty sure my microphone mutes it out a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and get this started. You see how that's turning? I'm making sure I'm moving the gun, but at the same time I want to make sure I get all of the embossing and get it melted. Trying to keep the gun to where you can see it, but I need to see it too. And this is just a silicone trivet. I recently used it to ink a background. And voila, we have instant shine. Look at that. Look at that shine. Oh, I love it. I love it. So I'm going to pause you. Oh, I'm going to pull you back out. I'm going to pause you, and I'm going to do the same thing with the two red ones. And I'll be back. Okay, I've got these almost done. I just thought I'd show you. This is such a satisfying process, especially for me, because I am not very good at embossing with embossing powders. And I don't know if I figured it out or what, but this has just been so much fun. And I also got, I've never been able to emboss white on black. And look at that. That, I have to say, it looks really good. So these are the 3 poinsettia flowers we have. And I just think they are so fun. Look at all that shine. Look at that shine. And these are kitchen trivets. I love the fact that I can easily utilize them to protect my surfaces and all of that good stuff. So let me pause you and I'll be back and we'll move on to the next step. We're going to do real quick. I only did 2 of these Merry Christmases ahead of time. So let's go ahead and get a third one done. And I've got my embossing buddy. We're just going to run that across my black cardstock. And I believe this is the Pop Tone Black Licorice 100 pound. And we're going to use this Merry Christmas again. I say Merry Christmas. That's just my personal choice. You can say Happy Holidays, you know, whatever holiday you're utilizing. And I just picked up some of that embossing powder. So let's go ahead and we're going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and do it 3 times. It just make sure that ink is really saturated on this cardstock. And I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to grab my tray. I've got a piece of cardstock here, or cardstock, just copy paper. That's not cardstock. And my fine detail white powder from Gina K Designs, and we're just going to dump it all over that. And oh, I'm getting better. And then I have a little brush here. Some of this. It cuts out pretty close to the letters, but there's some spots that here. Okay. And let me put this away. Get my heat gun out and we can get that embossed. And I'm going to show you, Gina demonstrated this, I don't know how long ago, but I saw it here recently. And I'm like, oh, wow. I have my own favorite way of cutting out sentiments, but this might be my new favorite. Especially if I can stamp it, emboss it, and then cut it rather than the other way around. Oh, I missed a speck. It jumped off. So I'm going to make sure that this is completely dry. Cool, not dry. Cool down. Okay, and let me grab, because we're going to use, this is the Master Layout Stitched Rectangle. Oh, Master Layout's 2. I usually utilize 1, so that's why I said Master Layout 1. And I'm going to grab a microfiber towel. Let's see if we can wipe off. I'm not like, it looks like I'm really scrubbing, but I'm not. I'm just trying to get as much of that powder off as possible. There, that's better. Okay. So I grabbed a negative from cutting out some white die cuts of the sentiment, and I have some minty tape. Use whatever you've got, masking magic, whatever washi tape, and you've got it lined up. Look at that. Let me pull you in. Look at that. It just perfectly lines up. Isn't that awesome? And then I need the die. So I'm grabbing the die. Merry Christmas. And you're going to feel it. It doesn't move when it drops down in. Now, I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine. I'm going to run it through 4 times because we've got double cardstock here. And then I'll be right back. And we just lift it up. Don't want to put that away yet. And it literally pulls out. Look at that. Is that not perfect? Perfectly aligned. I absolutely adore that little hack. So feel free to use that, or cut all your stuff out first and then come back with it. Whatever works for you to get that perfect die cut. And I'm saving this because I can use this over and over and over again. So let me pause and next steps up. So this is a great card to do mass produced because each one of the steps I've been demonstrating, you can do all of your flowers, all your poinsettias. You can get all your bases and layers prepped. Now I don't have the inside done because I do all those much later in the year. But you can have all of this prepped. So I grabbed the stitched rectangle from Master Layout 2, and I'm not going to show you the dimensions. This really works better when you have the rectangle. And then from last month's Gina K Designs card kit, which that's where the Festive Bloom came from. You've got this first class postage cover die. I think is so fun. This is what it looks like when you've got it all cut. And I just think it's very cool. And what else? I did, since we have 2 reds, I have a cherry red card base. I have, this is Stardream Gold, 105 pound. I think I picked this up from Michael's Recollection. And then I did a stitched white, which is my 80-pound Neenah Classic Crest Solar White. I also have, sorry, this is cardstock, dust, Christmas Pine from Gina K Designs, the Gold Stardream, along with the stitched Master Layout 2, and then blue raspberry with soft stone. I could have, that's okay, that's going to get hidden. 2 soft stone and a Neenah Classic Crest Solar White. So let's go ahead. We're going to change it up just a little. I'm going to get all of my postage die layers glued together on the outside, because the inside I don't care if, whoops, if it's glued down or not. And let's go ahead and grab Gina's matte glue, and we're just going to come along and get these glued together. And I'm trying to get outside the stitching because we're going to cut these. and do these little points. So they all stick together. I think I need to fill this glue bottle back up. I've been using this a lot, although I do still have some Tombow glue I need to get done, get used up. Okay. And I like using the matte because if it squeaks out the side, it will dry clear. And I'm just going to use a large, heavy block. And let's go ahead and do the same thing with this guy. Oops, I missed that. Making sure you're on camera there for just a minute. Had to hesitate and pause. I'm hoping this is going to work. This is not how I did my test run, so this is going to be interesting. I'm hoping my die cutting machine doesn't die on me. Then I just have to get Gina's out and utilize it a lot more. I have arthritis in my hands, so I like to use my electronic one. And I don't like those where you put it in, push a button, and they go through. I like to hold the button down. That's just me. Oh, I should have got my silicone mat out, but that's okay. It's a glass mat, it cleans. And press that down. And last one, actually I'm going to pause you so you don't have to sit through this. So I did a test run and it was successful. So I want a frame because it's going to go around the white stitch die, just like that. So let's go ahead, and I ended up running this one through four times. I'm going to do 6 this time and see if I can get both layers completely, oops, let me move you up, completely cut. And I'm just making sure that I've got even spacing on all sides. And I'm going to go ahead and tape that down, and let me go run this through. I'll be right back. Okay, let's see if 6 times is a little better. Let's go ahead and peel this off carefully. That's okay if it left behind a little bit. It peeled right up, and I'm hoping you cannot hear the heavy machinery next door. They've been building a house next door, and they decided to drill the well today. And I'm terrified that we're going to have muddy water all over the side of our house. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the stitch die up. And I don't think it went through, or did it? Yes, it did. Look at that. It did. Oh, couple places. There we go. Oh, perfect. I'm going to file that. That was a little bit extra glue that got mooshed. Okay. Be very careful. There. Awesome. And where's my file? Awesome. That's perfect. There. Awesome. That is gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to pause you and I'm going to do the last piece. And those two are glued together. I was afraid of that. Those two are definitely glued together. The first ones came apart. I'll just put them in my stash over here. I'm gonna pause you. I'll be right back. Okay, let's get our card bases together. So let's score these at 4 1/4. I'm a book fold kind of gal. It's the card I'm most comfortable making. I'm hoping that was all at 4 1/4 and not 4. Okay, I'm seeing glitter on everything. There. Then the Christmas pine. Let's see if my Christmas pine. Yeah, I had Christmas pine one year that was not square, so I had to cut all of it down, and they were all just slightly smaller than an A2 size, which was fine. You'd be surprised when you get a ream of cardstock. And I buy my Neenah Classic Crest Solar White in the 110 pound is, or the 100 pound, it's in 250 sheets. And the 80 pound, I think, is in 500. I can't remember now. So I've got my 3 centers. And on each one of these cards, make sure they're all opening the correct way. I'm going to go ahead and glue these down, and then we'll get our frame around them, and I'll show you how to cut those flowers. So this is just easy peasy. This is the Tombow glue. I'm going to get this as much in the center as I possibly can, because that frame is going to go around the outside. So you definitely want this in the center. Oh, but what I was saying earlier, they've been drilling the well next door since this morning, and they did a house down the block, other side of the street yesterday. So I guess they were going to do, this is a builder neighborhood, so I guess they were going to go ahead and get their well today. We re-drilled our well 2 months ago, so I know the process. We went down 215 feet. We were at 80 feet and we had severe water problems. It was way too much iron. Okay, so I'm going to use the matte glue. I make sure I get the gold ones on the red and green. I'm just going to run this glue down the side. And get a couple of these little postage doohickeys from, and I think those are from when postage stamps were perforated and you had to tear them apart. Okay, cross your fingers this works. It's just literally going to go around that white piece. And oh, let me grab this. Press that down and we'll get the other one. That's what it looks like. It's pretty. So let's go ahead and get this. And then we can get the blue one done. Flip that over. Perfect. Oh, look at that. That is so fun. Fun, fun, fun. I think that's going to be gorgeous. Look at that. That's what the card's going to look like, but this is going to be what it looks like in the Christmas pine. Hey, thanks for sticking around with me today on this longer journey as I make 3 cards. 3 cards for the price of 1. Oops, went right off the edge. Okay, let's get this one done. Tried to prep as much as possible today. Oh, that fits perfectly. And then there. Here's our other red one. Oh, that's even pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna go, oh, I put the die away. I gotta go get the die. It's hanging on my wall. So I say so a lot. This little guy like goes out the side. I'm going to cut him off, and then this one, because I want it kind of pointed up that direction, and the way these leaves fall, it looks like it's pointed up that direction, and I want this one to be poking off, but not poking off the side of the card. I want it poking off the frame or over the frame like this one is. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that under, and that's basically how I want it to go. Just like that. So let me, whoops, just like that. So let me pause you, I'll cut it, I'll be right back. And here we are. This is gorgeous. And then it fits down in the corner of that frame and looks like it's flowing out of the frame itself. I love that. So let me repeat that process for each of the next 2 flowers. And you can see what I did. So long dude, I want to tuck the flower so that these 2 are over the frame. And that's kind of how I want it. Just, you can change the angle just like that. Hold on to it. Put it on your platform just like that. Sandwich it, hold on to it, and then transfer it to your machine and cut. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what you get. Peel that up. Your pieces come off. This comes out, and voila, it tucks into the corner and overshoots the side. Look at that. So one last one. We're going to do the same thing with our blue. Here's our pointy over here. I'm holding on to it with my left hand, and that's roughly where, whoops, roughly where I want it. hold on to it, transfer, and cut. I'll be right back. And here we are. Had some cardstock dust there. So we are done with this little guy. And again, excuse me, it tucks right there in the corner just like that. Let me pause, clean this up just a little. We'll glue the flowers down, put the sentiment on, and then do our bling. These are definitely flat cards for mailing, which is what I wanted. Let me grab my postage meter, and I don't have an inside yet. Let me grab just a single piece of cardstock. I've got an envelope, and they are well within the United States, 1 ounce. That is my goal. I'm going to pay for postage a whole lot less this year. Last year, I had to pay postage on almost every card. Now, I want to pay attention to these 2 points. I don't want to glue those. So we're just going to get a little bit of those leaves, and then along the edge and right here. And I want to tuck it into this corner and then flatten it. I'm going to move that up here. There. And I'm going to do the same thing with these. Whoop. These I don't want to glue all the way to the edge, but the others, yes. And then tuck it in over here to the corner, just like that. I think these cards are so stunning. Same thing, those 2. Oops, I may have to fill that back up into the corner. Just like that. Let's get it tacked down, and let's get our sentiments. Sentiments are going to go straight down onto that corner up at the top. And this is Gina's matte glue. So if it squeezes out the sides a little bit, that's okay. Okay. Yep. And I need a different block there. And we're going to do the same thing with this guy. Get that straight. Yeah, you can tell I moved the poinsettia flowers around. This one's a lot further up the page, or maybe I rotated a little more. Yeah, I rotated it more. And then this guy, so I think I said earlier in the video, I'll have everything I used down below. If you're shopping, great. If not, I understand. It's tough times, and I understand not wanting to spend money. If you don't have these, find something in your stash that you can do something very similar with. This is, despite this being a long video, I am putting 3 of these together, so the process is a little longer. So for the center, I'm going to use from Cartwright Sequins and Beads this Aztec Metallic Confetti. I felt it was fairly close to the Marigold, and it's one of the only yellows I have. So, you know, people that you can't be picky if it's your only option. So I'm just going to put a glue dot in the center of every one of those little not seeds. I don't know what those are called. The bloom part of the, because these are actually leaves. They're not the blooms. So, okay, we're just going to go ahead and start putting these down and see what we get. Cartwrights, they have 3 different sizes in them, and they are concave. So if you see me do this, that means I have to turn it over. Okay, let me see if I can get a medium, medium one. And I need some larger ones. Normally I don't use the large ones, but the large ones are perfect for this. And it's, oops, I had a double. Oops, I gotta redo that one. Sometimes that happens. My little wax tip must have some glue on it. So let me wipe it off. May have to replace that soon. Okay, let's move on to the next. That's really pretty. I like that. Yeah, we've had rain all afternoon, which I'm grateful for. But I was going to grill chicken. So I don't know what I'm going to do for dinner now. Oh boy. Okay. There. Get some of these. Oh, that's not even concave. Try to vary the sizes just a smidge. Let me get a little guy. There. And a medium one for that outlier. That's so pretty. Look at that shine. Oh, I just love it. Love it. Okay, switching over. And this does not have a label on it, but I think it's from Cartwright. These are the silver sequins. And it's funny, these little bags, that's $1.75. There's a lot of sequins in there. Okay, let's go ahead and get our glue dots going. And then I can send you on your way. So, what I was saying earlier, I'll have everything down below. And while you're perusing down there, you would hit that like button. That really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Oh, we have multiples. There we go. And then if you are new to the channel and have not yet subscribed, while you're down there, if you would hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the content I've brought to you today, that would be wonderful. I don't remember the exact specifics, but I think not even 40% of the people that watch my channel are subscribed. Oops, let me find. There were 3 on that one. So hit that subscribe button. And if you're not sure, just go ahead and go down, take a look, and if it says subscribed, whoops, I missed one. You're good. But when you do hit the subscribe button, if you would hit that notification bell so that you are notified the next time I upload a video. And voila, we have 3 cards done in just a little over an hour. This is a more complex process, but for mass producing, like I said, you can do all your flowers together. You can cut your postage frame out. You can get the inner piece cut out. You can do all your sentiments in mass production and then assemble it all. It's super easy to do. But look at that shine on that poinsettia. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. Thanks for joining me today. It really means a great deal to me that you stopped by, took a look, and until next time, happy stamping.